Hello, welcome to Tea with Mali. Today we're with Maimah Karmo. She is the founder of Tigerlily Foundation, and she's also CEO of Maimah Karmo Enterprise. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me on.
Maimah is a dear friend of mine, and she, for many years, has really dedicated her life to helping bring more education and awareness around breast cancer for the younger women. And so I want to kind of have you share a little bit of your journey of how you got to really choose this as a part of your mission in life, at least one aspect of your life.
So Tigerlily came about after I learned I had breast cancer at 32 years old. I had been initially misdiagnosed and told it wasn't cancer, only to come to find out after pushing for a biopsy that it was breast cancer. It was aggressive breast cancer. And while on chemotherapy, I went through a period of asking why. Then I began to ask why not. Maybe this is happening for a reason. Maybe it's meant as a way for me to go through the experience of breast cancer or pain or struggle to learn grace to help other people. And so in the midst of that, in treatment, I prayed to God that if He restored my spirit, I give my life to Him in service for the rest of my life. And the next morning, I woke up and I was a different person. I got the vision for Tigerlily, which was to help to inspire, educate, empower, and advocate for women under the age of 40 before, during, and after breast cancer.
Wow. So through that journey, it was such a personal one for you, and you had that conversation with God, and you knew that this was going to be a part of your life's work. But living with cancer must have been a journey on its own. So go there and share with us, what is that like for you to have true empathy with the women that you support every day through your Tigerlily Foundation?
Oh, it's something that's priceless. People often say to me, I will say to people that, breast cancer saved my life. It woke me up. And they say, how can you say that? But the person I was before, I didn't know. When you suffer, you learn a certain amount of humility because you realize your body's only a shell. You learn to value your spirit, other people's spirit. You learn to be authentic. And the pain I went through, going from somebody who was healthy and vibrant, energetic, running, I ran all the time. I was exercising and vibrant, to being able to sometimes not being able to go to the bathroom on my own.
Wow.
And pull my pants down, being sick for hours on end, throwing up, losing my hair, watching my skin turn dark, and losing my eyebrows and eyelashes, and watching my life fall apart. It brings you to the core of life. And if I hadn't gone through that suffering, I wouldn't be able to understand the women I'm helping and connect with them on a very, very soul level. Because when I see them, I don't see another person. I don't see their shell. I see another spirit, another soul, and I immediately connect with her. I always wanted to serve people. I wanted to be a nun when I was a child. I'm too naughty to be a nun now, but I wanted to always serve people in some way. And I think that when you go through these challenges, you can either turn back and turn your back, or you can open up and use that. And so I'm thankful for everything I went through. I'm thankful for all the things I quote unquote lost, because they were things I didn't need to have anyway. Because this experience of breast cancer brought me so much more than I could ever have wanted and dreamed about, more than I could ever envision, even fathom in my life.
So what have been some of the biggest challenges with running Tigerlily Foundation, and what have been your proudest moments? What are you most proud of?
My biggest challenges, I began this foundation as a passion and a promise when I was drug-induced with chemotherapy. And I would never, ever not do it. But there are times when I'm thinking, what in the heck was I thinking? It's so much work. It's a lot of, I didn't have any plan. I began it out of just passion and drive, and I was so driven and so fire fueled. And so that place, that energy got me going, and it grew it to where it is today. Wow. And then at one point, it grew so fast. I mean, I began the foundation in 2006 when I was in treatment. We became a nonprofit in 2007. Before 2008 or 9, 2008 was over, I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show and Good Morning America, and everything just kind of blew up, and women that we wanted to help were coming. And wow. I didn't expect that kind of reaction. I thought I would just do this thing and give my heart out there to people and watch it grow, and it grew faster than I anticipated. So the demand for our services required fundraising and structure and infrastructure. And processes, procedures, and the business part of it. And I'm a creative at heart. I'm a creative. I want to be able to speak and touch people and hold them and love them. And I had to manage to look at books and boards, and I'm thinking, what?
Right.
So those were challenges for me, but there were also opportunities for me to grow as a businesswoman,
Okay.
as a nonprofit founder, to learn the back end of it. Because for it to be successful, it has to be able to run like a well-run machine. So I had to learn that part, which was a stretch for me, but it's, it was a wonderful stretch. The successes that I'm most proud of is I can't begin to explain what it feels like to imagine something, to dream something. Just, you're sitting down one day and you have an idea. I think I'll do this thing and see what happens. And then to look back and look and see the people it's touched. I tell young girls all the time, you have to just dream. It sounds like a very trite thing, but I just had this dream and I thought, I'm going to die. I'm not going to survive this thing, or I may not live longer than 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So this is my gift to the world and to these young women coming after me. I had no idea I would touch people all across the country and the world. And so to me, that is just something but the biggest thing about it is that I'm not doing it anymore. I mean, I'm doing it, but it's bigger than just me. And that's what I wanted for it to be, bigger than just Maimah, for it to be able to be something that was driven by the community, by volunteers, by the girls who end up giving back to us when they're out of treatment. They come back and volunteer.
Wow.
So that's seeing that energy. My goal was, when I was younger, is just to love people and to help and to have my heart be out on the world. And when I can make somebody smile or be inspired to be the best they can be, or be transformed during breast cancer, or even a woman that's well, like, to me, that light that I've helped to put out there, it's now lighting other people's candles, and that's a wonderful thing to me.
That's great. Well, I also think that, a lot has been done through your work with Tigerlily, as well as all of the people who have volunteered, who've gone to help you lobby for this, who've made it happen. You've really changed the way that the industry, the health industry, looks at breast cancer in terms of age and in terms of treatment. So I want to really make a point that, being able to pursue your dream and helping other people also shifts a whole community of other people that don't even know that it took a lot of energy and time and experience to shift an entire industry with the way that they see the world of breast cancer. So I do want to acknowledge that, because it's not just a nonprofit organization that just popped up and it has a great following. There's a lot that happens.
A lot.
that makes it continue to run, but the impact that it has is something that is so crucial that was not there before.
No, and the work we've done with I work with Representative Wassam and Debbie Wassam and Schultz on the Hill, with many other people, other advocates, to create the Breast Cancer Early Act, which was passed with the Health Reform Act years ago and is being implemented now. It didn't exist before. One day she and I met, we talked about it. She had gotten breast cancer. She wanted to make a difference. We came together. We brought other people together as well. And there's this bill out there that's going to impact the life of women all over the country going through breast cancer, and needing support, who are under 40.
Maimah, how has having your daughter go through this journey with you shifted the way that you view the world?
That's a loaded question, Mommy.
I know. It's a big one, though.
It is a big one. Before she was born, I prayed for her. I knew she was coming to me. It's something is really powerful to know that there's something in your life that's missing, and it shows up and it's exactly what you wanted. And she's my daughter and my friend. And so I just loved every moment of carrying her, giving birth to her, watching her grow up. And after getting diagnosed with breast cancer, I came to a point where I realized the person I was before was a facade, really. People didn't really know me. Even I didn't know who I was myself. And breast cancer forced me to be more authentic with who I was, with myself, about who I was, than the people in front of me, outside of me. And I saw a big opportunity to really have her know who Maimah was. And so after I was diagnosed, I knew I had to tell the truth about what was going on with me, about my cancer and the lump and the chemotherapy and the surgery. And my family felt it wasn't something that was going to be in her best interest. Maybe I should wait and tell her later on, but I really knew I had to tell her the truth. And that's how we always have been since then. I told her the truth. And when I first showed her my head bald, she ran from me. She wouldn't look at me. She was like, "Where's my mommy? Bring her back." And she wasn't coming to me. She just kind of closed her eyes and ran around the room like she was just so scared.
And how old was she then?
She was 3. And I said, all I want you to do is come to me and just smell me, and it's me. And she came. She at the time she sucked her finger. She came with a little finger, sucking it. And she smelled me and she goes, "Oh, it's you, Mommy. What happened to you?"
Right.
And that's how we've been. But sharing this with her has, kids teach you so much. You think you're the parent, you're the teacher, but sometimes they're the ones teaching you.
Right.
So she's taught me how to love more freely. She taught me how to be more authentic. And I see myself through her eyes very often when I'm doubting myself or not sure what I'm doing. She looks at me like, "You got this," you know? And it's a big chance. It showed me that I could really empower other young women and other
Okay.
girls. So having her in my life, meeting her friends, thinking of ways to get other young women aware of the issue of, the body health and authenticity at a young age and self-confidence and empowerment. Having a daughter that I'm doing that with has opened me up to helping other young women her age and older. And it's been phenomenal to watch as I grow and shift and show up and the walls maturing. We're like a dynamic duo, we're like a wonderful team, and it's what I dreamed it would be, honestly. And I see us working together. She had her first fundraiser this March. It was phenomenal. It's going national soon.
Wow.
Pajama Glam. And that's inspiring other girls our age to have their fundraisers and create their own dreams. So it's like a circle of wonderfulness.
Right. And she's
10.
10 now? Yeah. And so her pajama glam is going basically across the country?
Yeah. Well, we had the first one. She asked me to do this event when she was 6, and I thought she wasn't ready. I didn't want her to follow my footsteps. I said, I want you to follow your own dreams. Don't follow my footsteps. So I felt she was kind of in that age where she was kind of looking at what Mommy was doing. So I said, come back to me when you're older, and if you still want to do this, I'll support you.
Okay.
She kept coming back to me with this idea every year. So I said, when you're 9 or 10, we'll talk about it. And she came with her plan on a little clipboard binder. I'm like, okay. And so when we had a committee meeting, and they said, okay, well, you can try and see what happens. And so I felt I had to empower her with the tools I would give to the foundation. I got her a planner, and I booked a venue. And I thought, what in the heck am I doing?
Wow.
But I had to give her the tools I would give to the foundation or to any young woman who wanted support. So I talked the talk and walk the walk. And so we began planning, and it just kind of, people began coming left and right wanting to be a part of it. And I didn't anticipate how fast it would grow. And within weeks, she was on most of the major networks promoting Pajama Glam, and I was driving her around at 3, 4 in the morning to different TV stations. The event was a massive success. We had triple the attendance we thought we were going to have.
It's amazing.
And one of my sponsors called and wanted to do it in New York. We have 2 other offers for California and Atlanta. So A Child's Dream has now become our first national event. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Imagine if other little girls, as many, thought about those kind of things, or had a dream and they got the breath into their dreams and they could grow that dream. Whether it's a business or a nonprofit or something creative, just kind of even the idea they can do whatever they want. That's what I want people to understand, that you can do whatever you want. Just believe it, dream it, and then make it happen.
Who are you outside of Tigerlily Foundation? Who is Maimah Karmo?
Who is Maimah Karmo? It's a question that I've asked myself many times over the past couple of years, because I'm a girl who grew up. I had a daughter. I have my passions. I began Tigerlily Foundation, and something happens when you begin something that grows big. People start to see you as just this persona. They don't realize there's a person that that has other passions and needs and desires, and you cry and you bleed and you feel pain and you get tired and you sometimes feel insecure, or you feel vulnerable, or you feel like you're not being your best. To just see this person, and sometimes you become what people want you to be because that's what they want to see, without knowing it, because that's what they want.
Right.
And people, if you don't give them what they want, they may not support the foundation, or they may not love me or care for me, or so I ended up, when things grew, I would look at myself on television, or when I'm speaking, I'm thinking, who is that person? And I love who I am, but people, I realized, didn't know all of me. They didn't know my heart, and that's a very lonely place to be. Sometimes people don't really know you, and honestly, sometimes people judge you. They judge, where you're at, where you're not. Why aren't you doing this? Why can't you be here? And you have the tug of family and friends and nonprofit, needs and events. And so after I began Tigerlily in 2006, and I think up until 2010, 11, I was just driven and going, and being this person. And one day somebody asked me in an interview, what do you do for fun? Who are you? And I kept saying, oh, I run Tigerlily and I'm a mom. And they asked me again, well, what do you do for fun and who are you and what makes you tick? And they asked me 3 times before I realized I didn't know.
Wow.
And it was a really interesting point. I think it came to a head the end of last year when I just sat down one day and I thought, I don't know who the hell I am anymore. Or people don't know who I am. I think I knew, but I wasn't really letting myself be. And even you and I have had conversations, and I just really realized it was important for me to show up in my own life. People needed to know who I was as a person, what makes me happy. I mean, things that make me happy are little things like waking up in the morning and seeing the sun, on the curtain and hit my face. And I actually chase butterflies sometimes. Or I go walk in the rain barefoot. Or I get up in the morning and wake my daughter up by dancing, and I send my friends little cards and notes and flowers just because. And I cry sometimes because I love so much that it hurts, and I like to be happy. I like to sing out loud in the car. I like to do crazy, funny, just So I think, again, I'm a person who wants to be, I am Tigerlily. I'm that person, but there's so much more to me. And this next part of my life is really about showing people who that person is. A woman who wants to be seen and heard, who's still a girl in many ways, who spent 7 years of her life doing something and growing it. And then I'm like, okay, well, this is time for me to be Maimah. Because I remember I came here as a refugee when I was 15 years old. Right. So I began working at 15, and I was a caregiver to my parents in a way and a provider for my family. And then I went to college and began pursuing the American dream. I never really had time to be, a child or a girl. And so now I'm kind of rediscovering this person who has hobbies and dreams and likes to do fun things. And I'm really enjoying that process. I'm enjoying my creative juices flowing and getting to projects that I want to really delve into that are of my heart and soul and my spirit.
What's your vision for Maimah Karmo Enterprises?
My vision is to pour my new and improved authentic self into helping other women and realize who they are, into helping women realize that they're fearless beyond their comprehension. I wrote my book, Fearless, last year, which came out and it hit the Amazon top 10 breast cancer bestseller list. Wow. And it was really amazing to me to watch that. It's really about, people always say to me, well, your book's called Fearless, but you always talk about, sometimes you're afraid of things. And I said, well, it doesn't mean, when you're fearless doesn't mean you don't have any fear. Fearless means that you step into your fear, you embrace it, and you move into it, and you pass through it, and you come out the other side stronger than before. So it's about helping women become more fearless, more authentic, more empowered, living their best life, and pushing past any kind of preconceived notions of who they think they are. Because we're born with the idea that we think we're this person. We think that we are who our parents say we are, or our friendships say we are, or our society says we are based on our color, our hair, our height, or our width, breadth, but really we are all one big soul. We're connected, but we're in different bodies. So how do I help these women to ignite their fires and to be inspired to do and dream what they want to be? And so Fearless really inspired me when I look back and read the book. I even read sometimes and I think I wrote that. And the coolest
Right.
thing is that I want to use that to help people. So I'm launching, I'm going to have a conference next year called the Fearless Female Conference,
Great.
which we'll be scheduling the date soon. So I'll let people know about that.
Okay.
I'm launching a magazine called Bliss Magazine, which will be coming out very shortly. It'll be a quarterly magazine. It's about finding happiness and joy and creating your bliss every day, having rituals that improve your life and give you that sanctuary and giving you back to yourself, having a core that you are. Mm-hmm. When you have a core, whatever happens in life, you may move from that core and have issues, but if you have a center, you always come back to that very quickly. So there's Bliss, it's the Fearless Female Conference. There is my book, which I'll want to be promoting as well, going on tour with that.
That's great.
And other fun things I'm sure will pop up, which I love to be creative, and so the more things that pop up, the better. I want to also do some fun things this year. I want to go horseback riding and bungee jumping and skydiving, and I want to go fishing. I know it sounds not crazy, but I haven't gone before as an adult. I used to tango, and I got so busy with the foundation that I quit doing that. I just didn't have time. This year is all about jumping into my fears and pushing past my own boundaries. And as I go through those things, helping other women to push past their boundaries as well and to be inspired and to grow, to stretch and find their bliss as well.
You travel all over the country, sometimes even globally, and you talk to a lot of people. And you focus a lot of your topics on women, but you talk to really the topic of humanity. What are some of the messages that you would like to continue to share with the world, and why, is that so important for you to share from your heart now that you really want to focus on this authentic voice that you have? Why is that so important to you personally?
I look at, disease and dis-ease. I look at women's cancers, depression, domestic violence, wars, illnesses, challenges, and really at the core of those things is that we're not true to ourselves. We don't listen enough. Um, we don't have a sense of trueness. People, even diet, whether it's diet, nutrition, or whether it's all those things that I just talked about. I want people to kind of realize that at the core, if you're happy with who you are, if you have a sense of purpose in your life, you put yourself first and take care of yourself physically, diet, nutrition, mentally, whether it's yoga, meditation, spirituality. You take care of your entire, your inner self and your outer self. Your life can be so much better than you know. Many people are existing through their lives. They're just existing. They get up in the morning, they go to work, come home, have dinner, do laundry, and do it all over again. And that's no way to live.
Right.
And I want people to be awakened to their true purpose. I want them to be alive. I want them to get up in the morning thinking, oh my God, I have all these things to get done today. Which ones will I get done? And go to bed knowing they've done the best they can do every single day. I want people to know that at the core of what drives them should be the knowledge that this time we have is finite.
Right.
How do you soak up every single moment of every single day? I don't mean being busy, but even just laying on the couch and looking at the trees blowing and enjoy the moment, And I want people to have life, not just live, but to have life and to embrace life. And that's what I want to give to women and men and girls and children everywhere, that message of living, of breathing, of enjoying the moment, of finding their passions. And at the core of some of the challenges people have in the world is the fear. Whether it's being somebody that you think that person's not like me, so you may not talk to them, or whether you and your friend have an argument and you don't talk to her because you think she's not on your side. We're all the same. We want one thing. We want to be loved. We don't want to have fear anymore in our lives. So I want to help people to eliminate fear and love more and be authentic. And sometimes it's hard to be authentic.
Yeah.
It can make you afraid.
Right.
I go through periods of time where there are things that I have to talk about with people where I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't want to bring this up. But once I get through the process, I find that it's not as hard as I thought it would be. And I'm opened up and they're opened up and we're free to move forward and be the best that we can be in life.
So how can people learn more about your journey? Because I know that you're at this next phase of your own life, a very personal journey of moving beyond the Tigerlily Foundation.
Right.
And not necessarily leaving it behind, but really just extending and expanding who you are and what your message is for the world. How can people find you, learn more about you, and get more connected to your journey?
They can find me at maimahkarmo.com. Okay. That's my website. Or at Maimah on Twitter. And Maimah on Facebook. So it's simple. Just Maimah, and more Maimah.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been very inspiring. You have been through so much in your life, and it means a lot to me personally because we are friends. And by the way, you can come fishing with me. I did that all my life as a child with my mom and my dad, so I can take you fishing and skydiving.
How about skydiving?
Yes, yes. So
and the helicopter ride too?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. But I do want to say thank you also for the work that you have done through Tigerlily and the work that you're going to continue to do with the world. Keep doing what you're doing, because it really is a true journey of releasing our fears and shining our unique light. And that's what I'm all about, and that's what you're all about. And so it's really an opportunity and a joy to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please connect with Maimah. She is going to allow you to really journey with her. She's going to do a lot more writing and blogging and sharing as she continues to message to everyone about this whole authentic self and releasing fear. So please connect with her. She is very, very interested in connecting with you. and join us next time on Tea with Melly.